I'm David Jackson. 40 years ago, I was cooking in swanky hotels and winning awards from the American Culinary Federation. 30 years ago, I hosted a nutrition-conscious cooking series for the hospital satellite network. 10 years ago, despite half a century of good eating habits, I found out that I wasn't immortal. And I'm not alone. Can doctors' orders to moderate salt, fat, and refined carbs share our plates with mouth-watering gourmet recipes? Yes, they can. Most historians agree that the date is the oldest cultivated crop known to man, originating in ancient Mesopotamia more than 8,000 years ago. It's been a staple and nutritiously sweet food source ever since, partly because it enjoys an interesting distinction. Dates ripen to a semi-dry state naturally on the palm, dissimilar to almost any other fruit.
Well, a date is actually a very versatile fruit. It has a very decent shelf life at an ambient temperature. So if you're buying a small quantity and you keep it outside in your pantry, it should be fine. There should be no issues.
Dates were first introduced to the arid regions of Mexico and California by the Spanish in 1765, but serious production only began in 1903 with palms from Algeria transplanted to Southern California's Coachella Valley near Palm Springs, then later to Arizona's Bard Valley bordering on the Colorado River near Yuma. These desert climbs are mandatory because dates require at least 2 consecutive months of median temperatures over 100 degrees in order to mature and ripen properly. Today, the Coachella Valley boasts 9,000 acres under date palm cultivation, producing over 60 million pounds of ripe fruit each year. This sweet bounty has been celebrated since 1921 at the National Date Festival in Indio, which is part of the Riverside County Fair. County fairs like this one are notorious for sugary foods like cotton candy or candied apples, but the Indio Date Festival is famous for the one sweet thing that is truly good for us. Nearly 30 different varieties grow in the date gardens of the Coachella and Bard Valleys, including the Barhi, Halawi, and Zahidi, but 2 stand out. They are the Deglet Noor and the Medjool. Deglets are the workhorse date of the food industry, comprising the majority of U.S. production to naturally sweeten baked goods, cereals, and energy bars, while the big, moist, and ultra-sweet Medjool is the king of dates, best enjoyed whole.
Dates is a very small category in the U.S. One measure that we look at is household penetration, and that is the number of households that purchase dates in the latest 52 weeks, or the latest year. And that number, it's not perfect, but it's somewhere between 4 to 5%, which means that only 4 to 5% of households have purchased dates in the last year. So a huge opportunity, given the nutrition, taste benefits of this fruit, to increase that household penetration. And versus something like sugar, which is presumably 98, 99% household penetration, big opportunity in terms of offering something much healthier as a natural sweetener.
Much like pure maple syrup, the date enjoys its own uniquely sweet flavor profile. This ranges from hints of honey to caramel, depending on the variety. But all dates have a full, rich, dense, earthy sweetness and a chewy texture that tastes of the desert.
Sure, dates are an incredibly healthy snack. Friends ask me, and I'm not a doctor, but I'll say, and this is all true, more potassium than bananas, more antioxidants than blueberries, and they've got a low glycemic index, which means they're sweet, but they won't spike your sugar like a soda or something like that. So basically, they're a great natural sweetener. They can be used as an alternative to, sugar in many respects. Something I do and my wife does is we'll make a smoothie and we'll put in some fruit, and then as a sweetener, we'll add a couple of the Medjool dates. We'll take the pits out because I don't want to hurt the blender, but we'll take the pits out of the dates and put them in the blender and use that as a natural sweetener.
Sweet is sweet, but refined sugar is nutritionally empty compared with the simple sugars, healthy fiber, vitamins, minerals, and high level of antioxidants found in sweet, satisfying, and slightly exotic dates. Plus, recent authoritative studies indicate that dates are lower on the glycemic index than other fruits. That's important to anyone with diabetes or elevated A1C.